Shalom. I'm going to begin by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Much respect to the brothers laboring worldwide in truth and in sincerity. Salutations and blessings to the hopeful elect, the believers out there who's believing on the words of Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai. Not sure what I'm going to entitle this lesson, but, as we see the day approaching, we have to be mindful of the signs that are being shown. Matter of fact, let's get a quick precept. Let's go to 2nd Esdras. Because all these things are playing out at the same time. Now, I have a couple of videos queued up, and I have a little bit of information that I Googled, just coinciding with the times, letting you know where we at in these prophecies, okay? Yeah, let's go here. It's one particular scripture. Bear with me. Yep, this is 2nd Esdras, chapter 5 and verse 1. Nevertheless, as concerning the tokens, right? Tokens are signs. Behold, the days shall come that they which dwell upon earth shall be taken in a great number, and the way of truth shall be hidden, and the land shall be barren of faith. And guess what? The way of truth is hidden to 2/3 of our people, and the rest of the world is only a small sanctuary that understands this truth, even of the circumcised. Those who call themselves Israelites, they don't have the 100% truth if they're not following the 100% truth that Yahweh Shai has bestowed upon GMS. All right? And the land shall be barren of faith. And these people don't have faith, right? They don't have faith that the Lord is going to perform all what he said he's going to perform, such as Jacob's trouble, okay? Such as a terrible famine is prophesied to be laid waste on the whole world, okay? Verse 2, but iniquity shall abound above that which thou seest, or that thou hast heard long ago. And yeah, you can plainly see, as much as it is every day that we're vexed with the filthy conversation of the wicked, iniquity is abounding, right? And the land that thou seest now to have root shall thou see wasted suddenly. And that's the fate of America, aka Mystery Babylon, Babylon the Great. Okay? Now, let's go get a little bit of information.
Mike Pompeo has spent the dying days of the Trump administration trying to burnish its and his foreign policy credentials. In a speech at Washington's National Press Club, he claimed an old enemy had found support from another long-time US adversary.
Al-Qaeda has a new home base. It is the Islamic Republic of Iran. As a result, bin Laden's wicked creation is poised to gain strength and capabilities. We ignore this Iran-Al-Qaeda nexus at our own peril. We need to acknowledge it. We must confront it. Indeed, we must defeat it.
President Donald Trump pulled out of the Iran nuclear deal in 2018, finally fulfilling an election promise. His administration then pursued a campaign it described as maximum pressure, aimed at forcing Tehran back to the negotiating table, imposing tough sanctions. But others who negotiated the deal refused to leave with the Americans. Pompeo insists other countries must wake up to the danger. The Iranians, though, have dismissed American claims, the foreign minister tweeting that Pompeo was pathetically ending his disastrous career with more warmongering lies. relations between Washington and Tehran have deteriorated even further in the last 12 months. In January last year, the US carried out the targeted killing of Qasem Soleimani, the head of Iran's Revolutionary Guard Al-Quds force in Baghdad. And a US aircraft carrier is currently in the region responding to what the Americans call threats. Pompeo has claimed links between Iran and Al-Qaeda in the past without providing any firm evidence. One expert says this is more of the same.
If there was any evidence whatsoever, they would have rolled that out very quickly and very early in order to further justify the maximum pressure campaign against Iran. They didn't.
Mike Pompeo has been cranking up the pressure on Iran in recent weeks and has even announced fresh sanctions. Those close to Joe Biden believe that this is calculated, the intention to make it more difficult for him to re-engage with Iran when he takes over on January the 20th. Alan Fisher, Al Jazeera, at the White House.
I did not have that video. Salakia. Okay. Now, as you've seen, what Mike Pompeo is doing more rhetoric of what wars and rumors of wars. Now, I have this information queued up also. It says what? Simple Google search. Recent earthquake, right? So we have a couple of recent earthquakes and the date and time of when it occurred. You got a 6.7 in Russia on January 11th, a 5.7 in Indonesia, January 14th, a 5.9 in Indonesia, January the 12th, a 5.9 in Japan on the 11th of January, another one in Indonesia, 5.6 on the 10th, a 5.6 in Chile, a 6.1 in Vanuatu. You have a 6.1 in Argentina on the 9th. You see all these things occurring, right? A 5.5 again in Vanuatu on the 8th. Another one in that same country is 6.1 on the 7th, and a 6.3 on the 7th in New Zealand. Okay? These are what? Earthquakes around the world. Okay? And is that biblical? Can we prove that? Yeah, let's go get it. Okay? This is the book of Matthew. And as we see, what does it say? Signs of anointed's return. Right? Matthew chapter 24. And let's start at the top. It reads, and when Yahushua went out and departed from the temple, his disciples came to him for to show him the building of the temple. And Yahushua said unto them, see ye not all these things? Verily I say unto you, there shall not be left here one stone upon another that shall not be thrown down. And his disciples, and as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, tell us, when shall these things be? And what shall be the sign of thy coming and the end of the world? You see? The sign, the tokens, right? So the disciples was inquiring when Yahushua was going to come back. And we often touch on that word world, which is eon or aeon, meaning age, a period of time. right? The period of time in which Esau is to be in power. Verse 4. And Yahushua answered and said unto them, take heed that no man deceive you. For many shall come in my name, saying, I am anointed, and shall deceive many. And ye shall hear of wars, and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. You see, what we saying? Wars and rumors of wars, right? For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilence and earthquakes in divers places. Yeah, we viewed the list of earthquakes occurring, right, from the beginning of Esau's so-called year. And what does Yahushua say? All these are the beginning of sorrows, you see? Okay? And that's what I'm going to title this lesson. The beginning of sorrows. We just at the beginning of the Lord getting ready to deliver the elect of the children of Israel out of their captivity. Okay? Let's go back to a little bit of this information. Now, we read in 2nd Esdras 5, where it says those upon earth is going to be taken in a great number. Now, whether it's Esau perpetrating a lie or the Lord, has an actual plague out there taking people off the earth, we know that there's actual people dying, okay? Unless they paid off all these people to come on TV, which is possible, because Esau is a liar and the father of it, okay? If, all these people are not being taken off the earth, where are they going? Either Esau is giving them some when they get into those hospitals, or they really have something, okay? Now I want to play this information. As you see, it says U.S. shatters single-day record for Crown 19 cases, right? Highly contagious UK variant now in 8 states. We just could be propaganda, man. You know how Esau do, man. One of his attributes is deception, right? So let's play this video.
This morning, predictions of a deadlier new year are now a reality. The nation setting a new record this week of more than 4,000 deaths in just one day. And on Friday, hitting nearly 270,000 new infections, an all-time high.
It's going to get a lot worse before it gets better.
The highly contagious UK variant adding to fears as it spreads across the country. Cases now confirmed in at least 8 states.
It is going to take off over the next few weeks, and by March, it will become the dominant source of infection for Americans.
And more troubling news from the Lancet Medical Journal. A study of more than 1,700 patients first hospitalized in China found 76% had at least one symptom 6 months later, like fatigue or muscle weakness. In Los Angeles County, officials say the feared Christmas surge has arrived, with Friday the deadliest day on record. Hospitals sinking deeper into crisis, preparing to ration care as needed medical supplies like oxygen are running dangerously low.
Because we're spread so thin, patients don't receive the level of care that they normally would.
With healthcare workers overwhelmed, the National Guard is moving into other hotspot locations like Mississippi and Arizona to help administer vaccines. A process President-elect Joe Biden is vowing to speed up, planning to release all available doses of the vaccine immediately. But Dr. Fauci disagrees.
The issue of giving it to people and not having a guarantee you're going to get a second shot goes against the science.
Fauci believes distribution of the vaccine should be more controlled, fearing if it's not, there may not be enough supply available for second doses. And some good news this morning. New research suggests Pfizer's vaccine can protect against both the highly contagious UK variant as well as the strain found in South Africa. Peter and Kristen.
All right, Megan Fitzgerald. Megan, thank you.
All right. And guess what? It's the Lord setting different plagues on this place. Different pestilence. Let's read it again. You know, with all the things going on at the different state capitals, how the FBI is warning people of different insurrections. Well, guess what? Nation against nation, right? Matthew 24:7. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. And there shall be famines and pestilence and earthquakes in divers places. With all these things going on, people are forgetting this great famine is about to hit this place. People are really, in the back of their mind, not remembering that crops were thrown away, livestock was killed, these 2-mile long lines at pantries. These things have not stopped, man. Okay? And the Lord is strategically taking down Babylon the Great, piece by piece. The Lord is the ultimate man of war, right? All these are the beginning of sorrow, you see? It's just the beginning. Let's go to 2nd Esdras, back to 2nd Esdras. Let's go to 2nd Esdras, chapter 9. Like I said, this wasn't meant to be too long. A couple of precepts, couple of videos, a little information, and we see where we at in the prophecies. Okay? We see the day closely approaching. This is 2nd Esdras chapter 9 and verse 1. He answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs pass, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. So what are we seeing? We're seeing earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world. Okay? And what? That lets you know we're at the end. Let's continue to read. Verse 5. For like all that is made in the world hath a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest, made clear, right? Even so, the times also of the highest have plain beginnings in wonder and powerful works, and endings and effects and signs, right? Endings and effects and signs. These are the tokens that the Lord told us to look for, right? And everyone that shall be saved shall be able to escape by his works and by faith whereby ye have believed. You see, you have to have both works and faith. All right? Shall be preserved. You preserve something, you keeping it from harm. Shall be preserved from the said perils, and shall see my salvation in my land and within my borders. For I have sanctified them for me from the beginning. You see, certain spirits on this earth, whoever they may be, have been sanctified by Yahweh shal from the beginning to receive this salvation, right? Let's prove that further. Get a couple more precepts and we'll close it out. Let's go to the book of Ephesians. Ephesians 1. And let's start at the top. Okay? Oh, the blessings of redemption. That's beautiful. Yeah, it's a blessing. It's a blessing that Yahweh Shal has woke us up to this truth, man. That we may be able to try and serve him and please him, that his son will have compassion on us, right, to the Father, all right, because Yahweh is that mediator. This is Ephesians 1:1. Paul, an apostle of Yahweh HaMashiach, by the will of the Most High, to the saints which are at Ephesus, and to the faithful in Hamashiach Yahushua. Well, who are the saints? It's the Israelites. Psalms 148:14, Psalms 50:5, right? And it said what? To the faithful. Well, who's going to be faithful? All right, we're going to continue to read. Grace be to you and peace from our power, from the Most High, our Father, and from the Lord Yahushua Mashiach. Blessed be the Most High and Father of our Lord Yahushua Mashiach, who have blessed us with all spiritual blessings in heavenly places, according as he hath chosen us in him before the foundation of the world, that we should be holy and without blame before him in love, having what? Having predestinated us unto the adoption of the children by Yahushua Mashiach to himself, according to the good will of his pleasure. You see? So those who have been predestinated are going to have that faith. All right? It was created with the faithful in the womb. The feare Yahweh Shah. All right? For us to be accepted. Okay? For us to be brought back into that fold. Verse 6. To the praise of the glory of his grace, wherein he have made us accepted, you see, in the beloved. You see that? In whom we have redemption through his blood and forgiveness of sins, according to the riches of his grace. You see? So certain spirits were predestined, all right, to not feel this danger and death that is going to come up, all right? You know that according to the scriptures, everybody's going to have to go through this tribulation, but the Lord's elect are the ones who are going to make it through this tribulation, right? Let's go to the book of Luke, and we'll close it out there. Luke chapter 21. Let's see. Luke 21. Let's see. Let's start at 22. For these be the days of vengeance, that all things which are written may be fulfilled. Yeah, and it's speaking on 70 AD. But how much more now? All right, the Lord said it's going to be a time like none other. Right? Verse 23. But woe unto them that are with child, and to them that give suck in those days. For there shall be great distress in the land, and wrath upon this people. And they shall fall by the edge of the sword, and shall be led captive into all nations. And Jerusalem shall be trodden down of the Gentiles, until the times of the Gentiles be fulfilled. Yeah, and this twofold, because Jerusalem is a people before it's a place, right? And we have been trodden down of the Gentiles. Don't understand Revelation, he has worn out the saints, right? And our land is occupied by two heathen, right? Two nations, or two Gentile nations, as it were. All right, the real Gentiles, Amalekites, and the so-called Arabs, which are Ishmaelites, right? And our land has been trodden down of the Gentiles. Okay? Verse 25. And there shall be signs in the sun, and in the moon, and in the stars, and upon the earth distress of nations with perplexity, the sea and the waves roaring. Yeah, that's what we're seeing, right? Plainly seeing that signs in the sun and the moon, and in the stars. And you see these distress of nations, right? Verse 26. Men's hearts failing them for fear, and for looking after those things which are coming upon the earth, For the powers of heaven shall be shaken. Yeah. When those thermonuclear missiles are being shot out from the ends of the world, right? And for the powers of earth shall be shaken, and then shall they see the Son of Man coming in a cloud with power and great glory. And when these things begin to come to pass, then look up and lift up your heads, for your redemption draweth nigh. And that's where we at. We at in these prophecies, for we need to be looking up and watching, for our redemption draweth nigh. It's even at the doors. Okay? That's going to be it for the lesson. Lord, when it's been edifying, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushua, by Hashem Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Coming at you with another lesson, Lord willing. Till the next time I say Shalom and Abba Ball.